What's up, fam? Welcome to another episode of Lust. Let us speak truth. We here are family, and today's topic is going to be relationship roles. And my question to you men, let me start out here. To you men, since we got 4 of you on here, do relationship roles still exist?
Yep.
They do?
Mm-hmm.
What are some relationship roles? What do you, go ahead.
Talking to me?
Yeah, you're saying they exist. Tell me how.
All right, I'm gonna paint a scenario for you. 3 o'clock in the morning, we hear the glass at the front door break. Who's gonna get up and run to the door?
The guy.
That's one of those roles.
Okay.
And let's be real. I know we're in this space where we trying to do away with gender roles and relationships and all of that stuff. I get it. I don't all the way agree with it because it's just some things that we gonna be better suited for. Some things y'all gonna be better suited for. You're gonna have those crossovers where, all right, both of us can do this thing or whatever the case. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be certain things that my strengths are gonna be in. It's gonna be certain things that her strengths is gonna be in. I'm not gonna be the one putting my head up under the blanket like, babe, go see what it is.
See, I think that's more of a protector. Men are supposed to be the protector.
But that's a role.
Still a role.
That's a role.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think about your job.
I got one for y'all. When was the last time you ladies were in a relationship and y'all had to take out the trash?
Oh, hello.
Say that one more time.
When was the last time you was in a relationship? When you, like, Nicole, you're in a relationship, Tanya, I figured that you are in something. So when was the last time when you're living together with a guy that you had to take out the trash on a regular basis?
Not on a regular, but I do it.
Because you choose to not, but most of the time, that significant other or the guy takes it out, right?
Is that a question to me?
Yeah, it's a question to y'all.
Go ahead.
I know I don't know none of the other side of the panel ain't messing with no guys, so.
Tanya, go ahead.
Look, she ain't want to answer.
You know what I mean?
I did answer.
I don't think that, I think too much time is spent on whose role is what and who plays what. Too much energy is put towards that you lose the basis of a relationship. I mean, come on now. We all have responsibilities, right?
But Tanya, do you take out the trash when you're in a relationship? Do you take out the trash?
Yes, I
Not
have.
now, but just saying.
Yeah, I have.
All the time on a regular basis when you were with a guy.
Now you're switching the story now.
No, because when you're in a relationship with a guy, we talking about, do you take out the trash? I know at my house, speaking for myself, I told my wife, if you got to take out the trash, I'm always going ahead and leave.
See,
okay.
That mentality, because to me, it's like, why do you like that? Share roles. We all are in this together. There are specific things that men will do better than women. Vice versa, women would do better than men. So we work this thing as a team. You know what I mean? We're cohesive. So I wouldn't say to my man, you're the man of the house, take out the trash. No, I can take out the trash as well.
And then you're gonna be pissed off right after you do it.
No, I got a follow-up question.
Huh?
I got a follow-up question for that.
Okay.
So, have anybody worked in a restaurant before?
Yes.
Anybody? All right. So
Does McDonald's count?
Yeah, that counts.
Okay. 16 years old.
So when you're in a restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what the Kanye song say? This week he mopping floors. Next week is the prize, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're in that restaurant environment, they try to cross-train you so you can do multiple jobs, right? Mm-hmm. But when you got hired, your initial hiring said that you were hired as a line cook. Your initial job, it was a dishwasher or it was a front of house or whatever the case. Whatever it was, your initial job was a specific thing.
Right.
Those are your roles and responsibilities. When you sign the contract, they very detailed, you know what I'm saying, what the job is. They're showing these are the roles and responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
It's not saying that you can't branch off to do other stuff if other people need help or whatever the case. All right, one of the dishwashers called out. We need you as the line cook to get back there and help out. I'm not saying that you can't help or people can't do other stuff, but at the end of the day, the job you signed up for, those is your roles and responsibilities.
Okay, so
It's not to say that somebody else can't.
So tell me some roles that you feel when you're married or a significant other, live in, whatever. What are some of the roles?
That's one of those things that's going to vary from relationship to relationship.
Mm-hmm.
In my relationship, obviously, anything protection related, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm on the road a lot. So I train my wife how to shoot, clean guns, understand how to check the perimeter, checking the security cameras. I make sure she know how to do all of that so that she can if I'm not there.
Right.
But the second I get home, she hang up her cape.
And then what is her role? When she hangs up her cape, what is her role?
Her role, for the most part, is to be mama.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be certain things that she gonna do with the kids that's different than I would do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all as parents, we both gonna clean, we both gonna cook, we gonna feed the babies, we gonna give baths and all of that stuff. But when I'm home, she don't have to worry about any of the extra shit.
Okay,
That's where she good.
can I interject real quick?
Yes.
Go ahead.
We keep talking about these roles that everybody's supposed to play. And I just don't see everyone playing a role, because us as men, we've been playing roles that women are supposed to be playing roles of.
And vice
Because
versa.
I think that a lot of women are now just thinking that they just need to just give sexual favors and cooking every once in a while. They think that's the only role that they have. I think that a lot of women has lost connection with a lot of men, real men, to where they figure my bare minimum should be good enough for you.
Mm-hmm.
So we can keep going on about the roles and what the roles of a woman and a man is, but the men that I know, we've been stepping up as a man and then stepping in as a woman's role. So I feel like a lot of women have gotten lazy on their roles. Like their
What
roles.
are their roles? What roles?
Hold on, I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
Carry your man like you want your man to carry you. So, like my man said in the beginning, the garbage. Most women ain't taking out no garbage unless they have to, because they assume that that's our role. Ain't no woman gonna go out there and pull the weeds when the weeds need.
Oh, you done got muted out.
Women assume that that's our role. You understand what I'm saying? So you guys, women assume that it's our job to do shit as men. Like I said, the trash, the weeds, this and that. But if a man start to assume what a woman should do,
Right.
we're being controlling. We're not respecting you guys' feelings. So the role of a man is everything. Would you say, from my man said, protection, trash, bills, all that. That's our role.
Mm-hmm.
But then if we put a label on women and say, well, you guys' role is to make sure that I got a hot meal every day when I get off work. Well, I work too. That's going to be the feedback. Well, you need to make sure that the house is clean. Well, you dirty this house too. We don't say the weeds is growing and I'm pulling, but you need to get your ass out here and pull some weeds too. See, we don't do that. See, I just figured from the, like, let's just say the last 40 years of life, men have always continued to do what we had to do, but women want to do what's good for them at the time that they want to do it. And that's where the roles are flipping, because women feel like they got some testicles down there. And a lot of men are acting like they got a little bit too much estrogen in their bloodstream. So
that's a little bit of a different breed. Okay, Vic, you're a little bit of a different breed there. So I'm going to tell you something. Normally, what men want is, regardless if you both work, this is my experience, regardless if you both work, when you come home, they still want a meal. They still want you to clean. They still want you to take care of the babies. Why should the women have to do everything every day?
You asking me that?
I'm asking.
Okay, well, I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna answer that.
Okay.
Number one, the men that I was raised with, like Big Tone, I don't know these other two brothers, I don't know their lifestyle, but me and Big Tone,
Tony
or
B. Tony B.
I'm gonna have a hard time with that. But
Yeah, man.
how we was raised,
Mhm.
we're gonna do that. When I come in the house, whether if I did a 10 to 12-hour day and my baby's is at home and she did her 8 hours, guess what? I can still come in and get my baby a bath while if she decides to cook. Or I can go cook, she can get a baby's a bath. It's never been all on a woman with me. I do more than any woman I've ever been with in the household. So I can't speak for the next man, but I know Tony B is gonna make sure that his woman is taken care of. I know right here, Steve is gonna make sure, because the way he talks, he's gonna make sure his woman is taken care of. You
And
understand what I'm
Administrator
saying?
is Smiley. I've known
Right.
him for a long time.
And then what Smiley was just saying, his role as a man, he's gonna come in. So you got 4 solid brothers here that's
Right.
not gonna play. Because see, we can be traditional,
Mhm.
but from us being traditional men, we also fall into being the traditional female doing. Because a lot of females are not traditional. They want to be treated traditional, but they're not traditional. I always tell a woman, you want to be treated like grandma, but you don't have grandma qualities.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's the difference between women these days. A lot of women feel like I need to be taken care of. I got my own job. I got my own business. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Okay, but are you forgetting that you have a man that you still need to take care of, like you want to be taken care of as a woman? Did
Mhm.
you forget that? Because see, it's always a lot of, what do they call that? Selective. There's always a bunch of selective stuff with women these days. So us as men, and Tony B always reminds me, and I know my really be going in. He'll say that you are the prize. You are the man that women are looking for.
Mhm.
He's the man that women are looking for. And when I have a conversation with my brother, he talks about this all the time, and he reassures
Do you
black
believe
men.
that? Do you believe that society today is like grooming women to be men?
Yeah, absolutely. And they grooming men to be women.
Mm-hmm.
Come on,
Now
look at
that
all.
I ain't gonna say that grooming men to be women. They're more accept. They want people to accept the fact that men can be more womanly. But I also believe that in that between 75 and 95, there were so many men locked up, and so many brothers missing, that a lot of these dudes was raised by their mama and didn't have any men in their lives to show them how. So the women either tried or they just let these dudes run around underneath them all the time. And they have a lot of those qualities in them because that's the only thing they saw was their mama. They probably use the bathroom sitting down 100% of the time. I'm just gonna keep it
I
honest
was
with you.
raised by my mama, bro. I was raised by my mama and 2 older brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, it's just about your whole get down. See, I didn't fall in the normal category of the dudes that I was growing up with.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? I was a shock factor to my relative Tone. I was a shock factor to my best friend. I was a shock factor to a lot of people. It's because I did what the hell I wanted to do and when I wanted to do it and how I wanted to do it. And Big Tone Tony B did not agree with a lot of stuff that I did, but he stayed on my side.
Mm-hmm.
Nick didn't agree. She heard stories, didn't agree with that. But at the same token, as a man, me and my partners always stood with our feet rooted in the ground. So this is our responsibility because my mother only can do and show us how to be the man that she wanted us to be.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't tell us how to treat. Well, she taught us how to treat women, but she didn't teach us how to treat bitches. And it's always a difference. We had this conversation last night, and that's just what it is, because it's a difference. Because you got a real man, and then you got a soft ass nigga. So when the new word is alpha and beta, no, I'm gonna just call you a weak ass nigga. That's what I'm gonna call you. So it's a difference between men and weak men and men that stand up for their family and their woman. So of course, as a man, we're gonna take more responsibility on, because our women that's strong, they play weak when they want to play weak. So our roles is to jump from a man's role into a woman's role and help her do her woman's role, taking care of the kids,
vice versa,
cooking, all that. It is real talk.
But that's
all right.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go ahead and come from a little bit of a different perspective on this, because what I'm gonna say is this. I'm gonna say when you get to know somebody, that's the time that you're getting to know how they are as a woman and how they are as a man. Now, the problem with that is that sometimes people present their representative in the beginning, and then once they get you, then they turn into somebody else. You see what I'm saying? But if they being true to themselves and they let you know who they are, you know, the kind of woman that you want to be in a relationship, or kind of woman you are, like kind of man you are in a relationship, then you saying to yourself, yeah, I like a woman that's like that. Now, if she starts saying things, yeah, well, I ain't into all that cooking and stuff and cleaning, I ain't really, you know, there's somebody else can do it, you know, all these things that could say, okay, she telling me who she is, I don't think I really am attracted to that, so I'm not gonna go with that. Same thing goes with a woman with a man. If the man say, you know, I'm a working dude, you know, I go to work every day, I make sure I come home, I pay my bills, I do what I got to do. You know what I mean? If you say all those, the woman's gonna be saying, that's the kind of man I want. I want a man that's gonna pay his bills and gets up and works and shows respect and knows how to open the door and this, that, and other thing. So before you even get into that relationship, a person will show you how they perceive their role to be in a relationship, man or woman. Now, as individuals, we got to be able to decipher, yeah, that's not the type of woman that I want to be with, or that's not the type of man that I want to be with. But sometimes when they fool you with that representative and they cooking and cleaning, and this man is, you know, he's nice and romantic and he's working and this, that, and other thing in the beginning, but then later on, she becomes this, I don't want to cook and I don't want to clean, and he becomes this, I don't want to work and I want to put my hands on you and all that stuff, because they fake the front of who they really were. So I think that's where the problem comes in at. But I think in the beginning, when you actually dating somebody, that's when you kind of learning where the roles come in at. Because you can say you expect this of somebody, or you can just see if that's who they are. Because I'm not into making somebody be them, make who I want them to be. Right. Either you be who you are and I'm gonna be who I am. And if you're not what I want, I'm gonna move on to the next. You see what I'm saying? If you 30, 35 years old and this is your ways, that's your ways. I can't change you. I might like you, the sex might be great or whatever, but I know compatible wise, we're not compatible, because you don't operate the way I like to operate as a role as a woman, and vice versa. You might not like the way I operate as a man. So that's where I come in with that. I think sometimes the biggest problem will be is when somebody just gives you their representative and all of a sudden they flip the script on you. And me and my relatives talk about all the time how sometimes a woman will throw this in, and a man too, and then they'll flip the script on you after a while. They want to lock you in. And once they lock you in, now they're going to be who they really are, because you can only fake it for so long.
Switch.
Yeah, you can only fake it for so long.
Hey, Todd, hold on. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to come in what he said. One of the realest things that my fam told me, he said, I don't tell women what I want anymore, because they're going to do just that to get you. And when he told me that about 6 years ago, women said, what do you want? I just want you to be yourself.
There you go.
That's all I say. And what do you mean? Like, because, you know, you like for me to cook? I said, do you like to cook? You understand what I'm saying? So I learned the valuable lesson on what Tony B said. Yeah. And I said, yeah, because I remember, I want this, I want that. And I'm like trying to give her the game, but I was actually
don't give up the playbook.
I was giving her stupid game, because she was like, well, I'm going to do everything that you want me to do, and when I get your ass, I'm gonna just start being me. But start being you after that representative will get fired fast.
You helping her build the representative by telling you how to be.
Right.
Okay, so you 4 men are a different caliber of men that society portrays, because I am not a fan of big dick energy and small-minded men.
How's that possible? You can't have that. You can't have one and have the
You
other.
can. Yeah,
Well,
you can.
It's possible.
You
It's
can.
definitely possible.
Mhm.
Hey, because that goes back to Steve. That goes back to I'm an alpha, but I really am a beta. The big dick energy, but the small minded, it coincides, brother. Believe that, because every man, you can't tell me one man. If we had 1,000 men on this cast right now, that they gonna say they are beta.
Oh, everybody here alphas. Everybody.
Ain't no one gonna say they are beta. No one.
Never.
That's that big dick energy with the small minded shit. So yeah, it is very true.
Yes.
It's very true.
I mean, and I don't disagree with you on that, but the thing for me is that you are who you surround yourself with. You know what I'm saying? In certain regards, like if you and your partners, if y'all all them dudes, it ain't when you with your homies, you don't talk about being that dude because y'all already know who y'all messing with, who y'all with. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of cats don't understand that. And when it comes to relationship goals and roles and all this other stuff that we're talking about, it's just that you either got it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to do something for your girl, you do it for your girl, and it don't matter the role because you just a man and you just doing what you do.
Do you
know
believe
what I'm saying? Like it ain't about being a man, it's about doing what you want to do. If I feel like taking out the trash, I take out the trash. If I feel like cooking, I cook. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and you know what I'm saying?
Jethro, let me ask you a question before you. I don't mean to cut you off. With you and your wife, do you both cook? Do you share roles?
I can't cook, but that's not one of my. I just can't stomach cooking. I can, but I just don't like to do it. But my wife, she loves to cook, so it's one of those things that works out for us. Now, there's times that she be like, "Hey, there's something I can make really well." She'll be like, "Hey, babe, you want to hook that up? No problem." And she tell me like, "Hey, can you cook?" I'm like, "Cool." She say, "I'm not feeling." I'm like, "Cool. What's up? What you want? I'm with it." You know what I'm saying? Like it's not an issue. But
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's communication, and we talk about it, like, you know what I'm saying? If she up and I'm down, you know what I'm saying? She got me. If I'm up and she down, I got her. You know what I'm saying?
So if she was tired, or like she don't cook 7 days a week.
No.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So 5 days. Okay.
No, I'm just joking. No, it's not even 5.
You better get your ass in that kitchen for 5 days a week.
Do it look like I'm not in the kitchen? It doesn't look like I'm not in the kitchen. I'm in the kitchen.
I know you're in the kitchen.
Look, this is the thing. Go ahead, Tanya. Go ahead.
I forgot my train of thought. Well, listen, because you guys are coming really hard on the women, and
How say?
wait a minute, because you're saying what women won't do, and like we have our switch turns on and turn off. We may do it, we may not, depending on how we feel, this and that and the other. It's not that. It's that we have not found the alpha male that we want to support us. That's one thing. And also, too, we get so heavily into gender roles, what each other's supposed to do, that we lose the dynamic of a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
This is
but is that a role or is it what you expect? Because remember I said when you're communicating with say Tanya, if you went out and you dated a man, right, and they started telling you about who they were, and you feel that there's certain things that are required for a man in the role, and the things that he's telling you doesn't line up with that, does that make you put him in that category, or that your own personal preference on where you feel the man's role should be as you're getting to know them?
I don't like using the word role, because
expectation.
Okay, expectation. There are certain expectations I think everybody has. But when we become king hold to that, we end up putting labels on the relationship, or the relationship, what you should do. The Steve just said that his wife cooks 5 days out of the week, 7 days out of the week.
No, it's not quite 5. I was joking.
So you can't tell me this brother can't go in there and put some ramen noodles on the stove. Is that what you're saying? Now how he justified that was saying my wife loves to cook. No, bro, she gets tired too.
She do. No, I agree with you. It's not one of those things that I refuse to cook. I just know where my lane is in my own personal space. You know what I'm saying? Like I can cook, but it's just one of those things.
How
You can
often
tell
do you
me-
cook a week? How often do you cook per week?
Just
Once.
depends. Nah, that's more than once. It just depends.
Twice.
More than twice.
Three times a
Three times.
lady.
It just depends. You know
My
what I'm saying?
question
Like,
is,
Okay.
what is it?
Okay.
Hold on, Vic. Hold on, Vic. Hold on. Go ahead,
Okay.
Go ahead, Tanya.
See, what is it that you cook? Because see, you're expecting for your wife to have you what, a 3-course meal? What is it that you cook? Well, hold on, bro. What is it that you bring to the table?
hold on, why am I
coming
catching
for
all this
ya.
flat? Like,
Uh-oh.
I just want to say, hey, check this out. Check this
She
out.
coming for you, baby.
I hear it. And you see, I said, I'm about to stop. So let's keep it in the realm of what we need to keep it. The
Hi,
thing
Tracy.
about it is that, like, sometimes I cook stuff from scratch. Like sometimes I'll do buffalo wings. Sometimes it's pasta. It just depends on, you know what I'm saying, what we got in there, whatever. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what you want, babe? She'll tell you, like, all right, I got it. It's
That's
not
the
an issue.
key. You ask her what she wants first. Or do you just cook?
I asked her what she wants because if I cook something she don't want, she ain't eat.
In other words, let me sum it up. In other words, what Steve is trying to say is that he's an oven man. So he puts everything to bake. That's what he does.
I didn't get that.
Calendars.
What's Vic?
Dr. Marie
Wow.
calendars.
All right, okay, all right. So check this out. I'm not an oven man. I can do it all. I can cook, bake, all that stuff. It's just not something that I personally like to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, my wife, she doesn't mind cooking. She actually likes to cook, and she's really good at it too. So it's like one of those things that she does more cooking than I do. I ain't gonna sit there and lie and say that she does. And I know that sometimes she's tired, but I'm never gonna tell her, oh, well, you just work 12 hours, you have to cook. That's not gonna happen. Because guess what? I can go in there and find a meal just as well as she can go in there and cook one. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't always married. Like, I know how to go find me a meal. You know, but the thing about it is that there's communication. It's just like I don't mind doing things, he doesn't mind doing things, but that's our marriage. That's what we do in our marriage. And everything don't work for everybody. It's like what worked for me might not work for Smiley. What worked for Smiley might not work for Tony. You know what I'm saying? And Vic does what Vic wants to do. You know, I've got that legit. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you just got to understand that every role in every household is gonna be different. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like Smiley in the fact that if I hear some glass breaking, so I'm the first one up. You know, and I'm going to go see what's cracking. Now my wife, she gonna be right behind me because she like if something happened to him, I gotta be the next one up. She's not gonna sit there. She's a fighter just like I am. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where we are, but it's different strokes for different folks, and everybody has their own way of doing things. And I think that you got to get to a point that it's not necessarily about his role, her role. You have to respect what people do in their household. If they have something that works right for them, respect what they do, even though it may not be you. And even though if you know that they're doing a little weaker than it should be, if it works for her and she's not complaining, man, who are we to stand in the way of their love or what works for them?
It happens beforehand. Like when you're getting to know that person and you get to know how they are, then that's what you choose and it works for you.
Here's my issue. A lot of men have the gift of gab. They sell you a dream.
Remember I said that representative?
They really win.
Every day representative.
Y'all are good at playing that shit. Y'all are good at playing that.
Women too.
So women, yes, we're professionals. You guys are good, but we're professionals.
I'm glad that you stated y'all professional. Y'all are good at that.
We are. I will not lie. There goes Trav. What's up, Travis? What's up, Tracy?
Let me say something.
You tardy to the party, bro. You tardy to the party, man. You don't miss out on some real good conversation.
I know.
All I'm gonna say is my boy would have some good stuff to say on this, man. You missed it, bro. Come on, man. Come on. We've been talking about this all week. Go ahead.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Let me say something. I would like for all the viewers that was listening earlier, Vic made a comment and he used, and I want him to please expound on this. You use the word be. Can you expound what's the difference between so everybody's listening and viewing can understand what you mean by that?
A
Mean
bitch
by
or a
what?
woman. A bitch versus a woman.
Okay. You ready? Hold on to your weave, Tanya. Hey, this is just my definition. It has nothing to do with anybody else's belief. I've been around the world with women and all that. So I look at it like this. A woman's going to be a stand-up woman regardless. It is not going to be superficial about how much money she make and I'm doing this. So because I would say a bitch is this, that she wants, because she thinks that she make more money than a man. She thinks that she can control a man with her money. She thinks that she can be unruly because she makes more money than a man. And then she's loosely in the streets. Okay. And then she run her fucking mouth and she don't know her boundaries as a woman. Okay. That's what I call a bitch. And I call a motherfucker a bitch off top. Now, if you a woman like my sis, dedicated, taking care of her business and taking care of a little bit too much more than she should be taking care of, and being humble about her finances. Because a woman like Nicole, I will put her in the bracket as a woman. It's because she's been showing that she's a woman ever since we was teenagers. She's took on a lot of responsibility. So I seen her grow from a girl to a woman. See, bitches got attitude problems. Bitches think that niggas owe them something. Bitches think that they're supposed to be superior to men. First of all, you ain't got no nuts in your pants, so you can't control no man. So that's just the way I look at shit. So when I use that word loosely, I would never use it towards you, Tanya, because even though I don't know you, you come off as being a woman. You understand what I'm saying? Your grace and your manner comes off as being a woman. You know what I'm saying? You the type, from what I'm saying, you the type of female that will listen to a man if he's a man. If he's gonna say, "Hey T, I think that this is what we're gonna do," and I think you might not agree with it, but you're gonna be like, "Well, he got a point," and I'm not gonna argue this down. See, what a bitch would do, they'll listen to what the hell you got to say. Well, no, I'm sorry, they won't listen because they don't never listen. They are here, and then they're not there for solution. They're hearing to respond. They're not hearing for a solution. So when I say a bitch, because there's niggas like that, and I call you, ask my relative, I call a nigga a bitch ass nigga fast as a motherfucker.
Some of you niggas is bitches too.
Yeah. So I mean,
it ain't just a female thing.
And that's real shit. So I would just use my sister Nicole as a woman, giving her praise on everything that she's done and accomplished in her life. But then you got them women that can have an accomplishment, but they think the motherfucking world owed them something.
So what
because
about this, Relly?
I did this, so everybody better congratulate me and respect me for this craft. Well, be humble at what you do.
What about this, Relly? What about the ones that don't have money, but they feel like they got the punani, and they're gonna use that when they manipulate all these men out there? They got some looks and they got some punani,
Okay.
and they feel like they ain't got to work, they ain't got to do this, they ain't got to do that.
They take care of me.
Yeah,
take care of me attitude. So here it is here. This is why I look at it like this. If all you got is pussy and you can cook, you ain't got nothing for me.
And where the cooking come in at? Where the cooking come in at?
Cooking in on now. I was like, she cooking.
Yeah, where the
too?
cooking come in? They don't even want to cook. They don't even want to cook.
But even if you do got good pussy, I don't care about your pussy. You know why? Because if I look at it like this, it ain't nothing but a nut. That's it. It ain't nothing but a nut. Because see, what you gonna do for me, I can do for myself. So what else do you have for me? You can lay on your back and do nothing. You can't boil hot water. You don't want to clean your kids. You don't want to clean the house. That's what I call a bitch. You understand what I'm saying? So because it's a whole different type of bitches. It's a bitch that can have her shit together, but guess what? Her ass is lonely as fuck. You know why? Because she's too much of a bitch for real niggas. So you can sit your ass there, have all your shit together, have all the money in your fucking account, but at the end of the day, your ass is lonely because real men don't have to deal with that. Because a woman can have her shit together and say, damn, I need a partner. I want a man. So I sometimes as a woman and sometimes as a man, we need to shut the hell up. Because I'm very vocal, but I'm gonna tell you, in a relationship, I know when to shut up. I know when to shut up. Even though I'm a guy, hey, I'm a man in my house. I'm a man, period, around my homies and all that. But the thing about it is, I know when to let up. I know when to get off the gas. See, but bitches don't know when to let up, and they don't know when to let up and get off the gas. And then they run their ass right off a cliff, like Stan.
Okay, so
I like that.
ask one question.
I got one for you.
Okay, go ahead, Smiley. Did we lose you?
Yeah, we lost somebody.
There, now he do.
Can't hear you.
Smiley.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Smiley.
yeah, I'm here. All right, so while Vic was talking, I could tell like this conversation ain't got a clear line drawn in the sand, right? And it's real easy to happen when we have any conversations with men and women and we discussing who's supposed to do what. It's real easy to draw that line in the sand and then pick a side, right? So to the ladies, this is what I want to say to y'all. I know it's real triggering to hear a dude say bitch sometimes, right? Right or wrong?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, I want y'all to think about the conversations y'all have with y'all homegirls and that one bitch show up. Do y'all or do y'all not call her that?
It can be. Listen,
Not necessarily.
Listen.
Not necessarily. Go ahead, Tanya.
It's like a term of endearment, and it depends on the energy that's put behind the word bitch.
I hear what you're saying. I agree with that. Just like when we say the word nigga, right? I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, my nigga Tone or my nigga this or my nigga that. Context matters, right? But it's gonna be some situations where, man, look at this nigga. Like, same word, different context. The difference is when we say it, regardless of context, a lot of times women, they'll take it to heart. Even though that exact same woman that we talking about, when we said that word, when men ain't around, y'all said the same exact word with the same exact conversation about that same exact woman. And I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean. Mm-hmm. So one day we in the studio, it's me and my cousin. He was talking about this girl who's kind of known for being out there, right? Mm-hmm. And you know how he like, yeah, man, this hoe was over here doing that, this, that, and the third, you know what I'm saying, a little slut bitch, like, just real, raw with it, right? Mm-hmm. His wife was like, why would you call her all of that? Don't be disrespecting no woman. And she went off on her. All right, cool, no problem. Mm-hmm. Couple weeks go by, that same girl jumped in my cousin's inbox. His wife found out about it, and the first thing out her mouth, why is you talking to that slut bitch? You was mad when he said it, but then you turned around and called her the exact same thing.
What?
With no issue.
What age group are you talking about, Smiley?
My age group. We talking 30s.
That's it there.
I can answer that for Smiley.
Go ahead. Trav.
I can answer that for you, Smiley, because women are they're dedicated to the sisterhood at their own detriment. So until it affects them, they don't understand that this lady is what she is. So the first word she could grab was, bitch. And he's right. Nigga, bitch, and there's so many condoms you use. Bitch ass nigga, pussy ass nigga, weak ass nigga, bitch ass hoe. I mean, you can go down the line. So if you don't like when a man says that, okay, I respect that. And I don't arbitrarily use the word, but there are some extremely foul women lurking and walking the earth, extremely foul. And so the way you act precedes all that. So if you don't like it, don't act like that. That's just like if you dressed up like a police officer and you walk past me, I'm going to say, Mr. Officer, could you please help me? And he turned around and said, I'm not an officer. So why you dressed like an officer? Why you acting like an officer? That's all I'm saying. So to go off what he said, that's what it is. If you don't like it, don't act that way. Mm-hmm. And that's just bottom line.
Right. So go ahead, Vic.
Well, I just, back to your question about the role. of a man and a woman. So, you know, Miss Tanya said that we going hard on the women. So I want to give you three women a chance to go hard on us. And what do you think your role is as a man? So because I know every woman on this panel wants a strong man to be a man, stand up. So now, how are you guys gonna stand up as a strong woman to men?
I don't believe in roles.
You don't?
No.
You don't?
I don't believe in No.
Then you have no order. And there will never be anything, it won't work.
I've never had order.
Travis, hold on. Are you military? Are you military, Travis?
No.
Well, you see, if this is where you lose the audience. When you say no order, hold on. We're not robots.
Stop that. Stop that. Everything you do has order. When you stop at the red light, that's order. When you go to the bank, that's order. When you go to your job, that's order. People that are out of order, you can't do that.
But here's the thing. You so heavy with it, it's like you have this mentality that a woman has to come through you in order to get something done. It's the way that you're emphasizing.
Let me ask you a question. I only care about outcomes. That's all. That's the only thing. If you don't believe in roles, then you can't worry about the outcome. If you allow a man to act like a woman, you allow him to be on his sensitive side, and that's what you're aiming for. If you ask a woman, give me the best conversation of what you want a man, she's going to describe another woman to you, not the way a man is. We're not like you all.
But here's the thing. Let me say something. When Nicole says she don't believe in roles, here's the thing. And Nicole, like myself, it's not the role, it's the responsibility. This is your responsibility. And I guess when you
whose responsibility?
Hold on. Is it your responsibility to protect your woman?
Right. Okay, and I'm going to say one thing and I won't say anything else. Responsibility without me being able to handle that situation of responsibility, and I can't tell you what we're doing, that's not real. If I can't organize it, but you won't be responsible for it, then I'll give it back to you.
I think the problem is that you want to take lead, but the way that you're taking lead can be a turnoff. In other words, it can be abusive if it's not very.
That's another woman word, abusive. I'm not being abusive. It's my ship. It's my ship. When I'm with a woman, it's my ship. If you don't like it, don't get on the ship.
Well, it can't be both of our ships. Can we ride?
No, because I'm responsible for the ship. You're responsible for peace in my life. I'm responsible to protect you.
But if your ass jump off the ship, I'm gonna jump out there and help you. So it's cohesive. It's called cohesive. It's called working together. It's called understanding and being on one accord. That's what it's called. It's not called you do this, you do that. It's my ship. No, it's our ship.
So can I say something real? Okay, no.
And this conversation got real heavy, real fast.
No, I'm gonna say this for the people that of any type of religious background or belief and believe in biblical things. And that's not me, but I'm not knocking nobody. Everybody has that. And I know most people do have some type of religious belief. When it comes to the Bible, what does the Bible say the role of a man is and the woman and the expectation of a man? Does anybody that's savvy in the Bible, can somebody give me the definition there?
Let me tell you what the Bible is actually saying. Number one, you're referring to the Old Testament. I ain't referring to that because I don't even know. I'm just asking what does it say. I don't even know. Because we get stagnated in the oldness. Okay. So what? No, sweetheart. I know you don't know. That's why I'm educating you. Okay. I'm helping you with that.
Yeah.
Okay? So we all have, even an animal have a expectation of them to follow. However, we get so stagnated on the old that we forget about how to bring in the new. So the newness is embracing one another and coming together, flourishing together, building together. Okay, it's not like you got this whip and you whipping a woman talking about get in line.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
No,
That's not what I'm saying.
I'm just saying when you say it's my shit, or a woman like
I want you on the ship though. In your opinion, your influence, you're needed. But if the ship go down, they ain't gonna ask for you, to ask for the captain. I'm the captain.
Look,
Captain,
wait. Go ahead, Tanya. Go ahead.
Captain, let me say this to you, Captain. You cannot outthink a woman.
That's what those words are for beta males, not for me. Those are for beta males. That's not for me. What you just said is for a weak man. That's for the man. That's for the man. That's for the man that's gonna sit on the curb with you when the mortgage is due and say, "What we gonna do?" I'm not gonna ask you what we gonna do. I'm gonna go do it.
Travis.
Listen. Let me say this to you. For a woman, a man like me, I can't speak about anybody else, but I'll take your problems, your minor problems. I can't fix mental problems, but your financial needs and all that little stuff, I'll put that shit on my back and start walking with it.
What do you expect from her?
Peace. That's all she got to do.
But what contributes to peace?
Every time somebody says peace, the shit goes crazy.
Yes.
Well, I can explain it.
Okay, go ahead.
I can explain. It's relatively simple. I don't require a lot from me, so to speak. Just you doing what you're supposed to be doing, and that's simple.
What is she supposed to be doing?
The home, our family, what's going on, general conversation. When I come from the world and I come back home, I don't need a whole lot of going back and forth about something that's irrelevant. Mm-hmm. If it ain't gonna make something in our life, that's minute stuff. I'll take care of those things.
So,
and I'm not trying to
give me a little scenario. What on a day-to-day basis in like a week span? What do you expect her to do to keep the peace with you?
Don't get in the way.
We don't ride tricycles no more.
See, there you go. You see, you looking at it from, no, I'm giving it to you hard up front because I'm gonna do all the other stuff on the back end. So when we get together, I'm gonna say, hey, this is what we're doing. You can say, hey, I don't like that, and I'll mix it up and I'll make it better. But I'm gonna give you the plate, and I'm gonna tell you this is what I expect. It's simple. It's not hard. Most people don't talk like that because they want to finesse you. I'm gonna talk shit to you, and I'm still gonna fuck you. It's not a problem.
All right, I got something for y'all. Right?
Go ahead.
He said he gonna
Smiley.
Somebody else. Who else was in the military?
Me.
You was
a Marine.
Navy.
Navy. Okay, I'm Navy too. So
I was
I'm thinking about a tree Marine. All right, so I'm listening to the conversation, and there's a lot of talk about the ship and the captain and all of that stuff, right? You being ex-Navy, we understand that everybody on that ship got a job. They got roles, they got responsibilities, and everybody does their job and their roles because they all complement each other. They all got a spot that they occupy because that spot is valid and is necessary, right? It goes down to it. If you got an E3 down in the boiler room who messed something up and end up causing a fire while you're out to sea, and that ship go down, that three gonna get help. Who finna get their head put on the plaque?
Relieved of duty.
The captain.
I'm still trying to figure out the roles, though.
Like I said earlier,
Nick, you
that's gonna vary from relationship to relationship. Everybody got something else. Everybody got something different that they require.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, it's all gonna be, you know what I'm saying, individualized to that relationship. But at the end of the day, regardless of what relationship you in, there are going to be certain roles that you take on, certain roles that your partner's going to take on. Now, what they're going to be is going to depend on that relationship. But at the end of the day, all those roles are valid and they all needed. But when it comes down to it, this is what he was talking about as far as being the captain of the ship. in a lot of situations with these relationships, when the shit hit the fan, when shit go left or whatever the case, the response, even forget the military, we go to like sports. If the team lose the game, yeah, you can say, okay, the quarterback, he missed a couple plays, or the wide receiver, he dropped a couple balls, the running back fumbled a couple times, defense missed a couple tackles. But when they had a big conversation, everybody's gonna talk about what that coach did wrong. As leadership, that's part of that job. Part of the job of being a leader is taking the responsibility for the team when shit go wrong.
Okay.
Which is why you have a lot of people who do operate that way.
And and as a man, I take total responsibility for the welfare of the family. 100% of how we do what we do, I take that. If we lose, I'm gonna take that. If all of our stuff sitting on the curve, I'm gonna take all that. So when I hear somebody say they're not roles, if you go to a lady's house and the house is nasty, they're gonna say that's a nasty chick. If our stuff gets set on the curve, they're gonna say I'm a sorry man for getting my family set out. I take that to full scope.
Trav, what I was saying as far as roles go, I don't believe in roles. I believe that when you get with somebody and you live together, you have conversation with each other of what you like and don't like. And
beforehand, before you move in, not when you move in, before you move in.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you work as a team. So if one person is tired and don't feel like cooking, the other one should. If one person is cleaning and the other one don't feel like cleaning, the other one should. Like switch the roles to accommodate each other's lifestyle.
I just think that this conversation right here just gets on y'all ladies' nerves. Y'all expect us to say something profound about roles and expectations. It is what it is.
We're
whether you're male or female, regardless in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it's you call it an expectation, whether you call it a role, a requirement, you know what I'm saying, you the captain or whatever it is. Something has to be in some kind of manner that allows folks to have cohesion in the household.
So I got a question. Hold on real quick for Nick. So why don't you give the definition and when you say you don't believe in roles? Because you've always played the role of a woman and a man. So
that's
you
why
now, but you say you don't believe in roles, but you have played both sides. So now tell us what you want to do as a woman and what you expect from your man.
I hate you.
I know.
I'm about to say somebody listening to this podcast would love to hear the answer to that question. They may or may not be on camera right now.
Period.
Thank you, Vic. Thank you, Vic. We appreciate that. Call it what it is. That kettle black. Come on now.
I played the fifth. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Ain't no pucking out. No, this is lust.
Okay,
let us speak truth.
I'm gonna speak my truth. Okay, I'm gonna speak my truth. Okay, when me and Greg got together, I told him yes, I did, because he's listening and he's right here. And Vic is an asshole for putting me on blast, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it because this is my truth. I don't like to cook. I'm not a cook. I will cook, but I don't like to cook, right? Greg don't like to cook. So
fast food.
No, hell no. We cook. I have to end up cooking or he'll cook, but it's almost like a tug of war between us because he'll get off work, he'll come home. He's a labor working job. I have a mental job. And a lot of men look at that as I worked all day, I hard labor work. Well, I mentally worked. Like mentally is challenging. Bullshit. Yes, it is.
Nope.
Anyway.
Nope.
Yes, it is.
Go outside and bust bricks for all day.
No, I understand. Labor is a hard
job. You're a woman. Your body will not hold up.
Listen,
you know
what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm a labor worker.
Let her get to what she's saying. Let her get.
Okay, my bad, Vic. I'm sorry. Let's go.
My point is, if I don't believe in roles, because I feel like if we have a conversation and if one person doesn't want to do something, the other one has to take up. And sometimes both of us don't want to do something. And so, but we got to eat. I got an 11-year-old son. So we got to eat. So I'll either order a pizza, I'll make some tacos, I will make some quick fixings just to keep the peace and cook something, you know. Greg is not a cook. He does not like cooking at all. He don't. And yes, he's listening. I love you, babe, but I'm sorry. I'm speaking my truth.
For talking about cooking. Come on now. But see, this is what I think. I'm gonna try to give you some perspective. I feel like that if, from the ladies' perspective, from what I'm hearing tonight, is that if you put a name to it, then you have to hold it to the accountability which comes with that. And when you give a man that and he doesn't live up to that expectation or the accountability of doing what you feel that would be, then you ladies feel like y'all have a problem.
No, Steve, these are conversations before getting together. These are conversations.
No, I'm just saying in general terms. I'm not saying, you know, for every, but in generally, I think accountability for what we are supposed to be doing comes into play, because don't nobody want to be at fault when something was supposed to be done, something fell through the cracks more than once, you know what I'm saying? Or this and that, you know what I'm saying? Like there are those things like you talk about. Both of y'all don't like to cook. So it becomes one of those situations where both of you guys, you're like, you cooking today? You ain't cooking dinner. You ain't cooking.
And see, and that's the thing. Like it could be like you cooking, and or I'll say, did you take something out? I'll cook it if you take something out. It never happens. Never. So by the time I get home, and I don't want to, and the reason I do that is to give a little bit of accountability for that person. Help me. Let's work together. If you take out the meat,
can I ask you a question? Nick, can I ask you a question? I would say this, and I want to say this from a male point of view and a female point of view, that when you talk to somebody and you're getting to know somebody, there are going to be things about that person that you're going to like. There are going to be things about that person that stands out. There are going to be things about that person that you look as in qualities that you like in a man. It's qualities that I look at in a woman that I like in a woman. Now, are you always going to be able to get 100% of the qualities that you're looking for?
Never.
No. I always say shoot for the high 80s and low 90s, but you got to have deal breakers. I think everybody should have deal breakers. There should be certain things that you're just not going to deal with. And you're not going to move forward with that. So you don't get yourself in a situation that you really don't want to be in.
One of them. Cookie's not one of them.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it. But for some people it is though. For some people it's a deal breaker.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So when you get to the point to where you know what your deal breakers are, you know what they aren't, and you know what you're looking for ideally, you know what I mean? Like I said, we don't have to say it's a role. We can say expectations, or you can say what you're looking for in a man, what I'm looking for in a woman. If you see that, you move forward with it. If you don't, you back off from it. But once again, if they give you a representative, then you asked out. Okay, so you just got to have that discernment.
Hold on. One more time.
We gotta land the plane, folks. We gotta land the plane.
The one thing I will say that I like, my grandparents, they both worked, and my grandpa did the outside of the house and my grandmother did the inside of the house. And that's how I was raised. But when you have people in your life, and this is no judgment to my partner now, but in my past, it was nothing done on the outside, but you still did the inside. If that makes sense. So,
but see, that's why you're not with them cats now, because it's not, y'all not evenly. Hello, Tanya, they not evenly yoked. You know what I'm saying? You can be together and not have this. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be differences because everybody comes from different aspects. There's yin and yang and all the other terms you can say for it. But at the end of the day, you have to do what's right and what's best for you and your household. Like Trav, he's got his thing that he's got going on. He's got to find a woman that complements that. Nick has to go out there and get a woman that's right for him, that understands him for who he is, that completes his life. Just like Tanya's got to find her a man that's strong, you know what I'm saying, got his head together and is perfect for her. Like me, I think I'm good. So you know what I'm saying? I might be the one in the conversation that got it. I love my wife to death and she completes me.
Let me ask one question.
I love you.
Let me ask one question, y'all. Let me ask one question. And he was just saying about, you were talking about roles and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So there, every job, everything has roles, whether we want to believe it or whether you like it or not. But I know this, when you speak directly to women, I know a lot of women will say, well, that's harsh or whatever. But let me say this, in any situation you're in, mm-hmm. responsibility without authority over the responsibility that you have is almost like slavery for that person that's responsible for it. So what do I get out of being responsible for you? Your well-being. Mm-hmm. And then you can turn around to me and say, well, this ain't the old days, it's the New Testament. We rewrote it because we didn't like it. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Tanya. I'm looking at you. We changed it because we didn't like it. But hell, I don't like to pay the bills, but I'm going to do it.
But Trev, there's a lot of men that aren't like that.
But I'm saying, see, and me and Tony talked about this earlier today. I can't even resonate with men that don't do that, because if you're not doing that, I don't know what is your usage. What are you good for?
And like I say, you have to. We can't disregard them. They are out there, and unfortunately, it seems like they're the majority that's out there as well. Mm-hmm. So we can't discredit that. We can't discredit the men out there that's not handling their business. That's not standing up.
What is he good for other than reproduction? What is he good for?
Nothing. You know what? But they're still being picked. They're still being chosen. They're still getting into these women's lives. Let's just be real. We can sugarcoat it, or we can keep it 100.
Then they should pick better.
It's not a whole lot of pickings though.
But again, men have the gift of gab. Men know how to sell a dream.
So why would you go off what he's saying as opposed to what he's showing you he's going to do? Because I can sit with you in the beginning of a relationship and say, hey, I'm gonna vacuum, I'm gonna take the trash out. But if I ain't doing that, I'm gonna work. If I'm gonna make sure the cars are taken.
Let me ask you this, Trav. How did you get your wife?
Because I provided order and I'm suave.
So suave. You provided the order.
Hold on. Let me say something. Because Travis make it as it's mandated. It's a mandatory thing. And so when I look at it that way, it's ugly. I'm just saying, when you use the word role, the way that you're using it, like it becomes a mandated thing. She has to do this. She has to go cook. She has to take care of the kids. No, bro, because you and I are in a relationship or we're married, it's your responsibility as well as it's my responsibility. It's nothing's mandated, nothing's written in stone.
Okay, I could accept what you just said.
Hold on real quick.
Go
ahead. T, I love you to death. When you say that this man is mandating, most women these days, and I'm going to put y'all in the 98%, most women these days demand what they want from a man. They demand that a man has to do this and do that. So here's the problem that I think that Trav, Tony B has, and myself has with this. A lot of women make demands on what they want from a man, but they're not willing to uphold the demands from a man to them, because now it turns into demanding. You're being forceful to me and all that. See, because if a woman say this is what she wants and this is what she requires, then that's supposed to be accepted. But when a man turns around and say, this is what we expect and what we require, because I'm going to tell you off top right now, I would never date another woman that can't cook, even though I can cook. And I damn sure ain't gonna take. And I damn sure ain't gonna. I don't give a fuck how fine your ass is. If I walk up in your house and I just kind of happen to see, because you can tell a woman's habit if she's just putting it up because it don't need to be out, or she cleaning up is because that's the way she is.
All right, Vic. Let me ask you this: she was a millionaire.
No.
Let me ask Vic this. If she was a millionaire, she was like, baby, I got you financially. I don't like to cook, and I just want you to cook.
First of all,
Whew.
you ain't
Let
gonna
me
just
answer that
hire
one.
me. You ain't gonna hire me. Okay, that's what you ain't gonna do. You ain't gonna hire me. You can hire one of them baiters.
But if she was legit, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about a gift of gab.
Trav, salute
You asked me a question.
No.
You asked me a question.
No.
Hold on for a minute.
Right.
So I'm gonna give you the answer. I don't give a damn if she had $150 million in the bank. That's her money. We're gonna start there. And if she say, I don't cook, I don't clean, okay, well, if you got that kind of bread, you can hire a chef and the maid. I ain't tripping, because if I know that I'm there, because you can't get me financial unless you stick at least $1 million in my motherfucking bank account to where I can be secure with you. Because
did you hear what he just said? If she sent you the money, and no, shut up. Let me finish. If she sent you the money in your bank account to prove to you that she's legit, would you take on that role?
Okay, now listen. If we got that kind of bread, if she's gonna put that money in my account, guess what? We got enough money to order some motherfucking chefs.
But she wants you to cook. She don't want a chef. She wants you to cook.
I'm gonna cook anyway because I like to cook, so that's not a problem. But you're not hiring me as your personal chef, your lover, your do boy. You ain't hiring me for that. Now, if this is kind of bread that you got, now listen, because see, your money don't move me. If you put some money in my account, I already know what to do with the money. Because I'm gonna tell you, it ain't no woman with no millions of dollars that's gonna pay me and no brother on this panel to make them some goddamn waffles. So y'all gonna have this money, and y'all gonna try to control us by having y'all's money. Just like $1 million man, if he find a woman that worked at McDonald's, he ain't used to that type of behavior, so he gonna shower her with everything, and then he's gonna take control of that woman's life. And a woman would do that has bread, period. So what I'm saying is, you keep talking about nobody, you don't believe in roles. It is a role. See, but you guys want the man to play the role, but y'all don't want to play y'all's role as a woman, because now, I feel that I don't need to cook all the time. I feel like I don't need to clean this because we both live here. But okay, you have a mental job, he has a physical job. See, but alpha male, and I'm gonna bring this up, alpha male like Tony B, and like me, can go and do a stretch for 12 hours. I work in 100-degree weather every day out here in Vegas. I can still come home, clean up, and cook for my kids, and when I was married or whatever. I can still do that because that's my choice to do, even though I'm dead tired. But on the flip side of that, y'all can be behind a computer all day, and y'all got yelled at by a customer. I had all motherfucking day. I don't your ass go pick up a damn pizza, and that's just what it is. I'm sorry, because a lot of you women want this from men, but y'all don't want to put in the work with men.
Lazy.
You understand what I'm saying?
Lazy.
It got to be at y'all's convenience. It got to be at y'all's convenience. If you
lazy
is inconvenienced by a man's wishes,
I don't know what happened to Vic's video.
Listen, Nicole. If a woman is inconvenienced by a man's wishes,
lazy,
don't have a problem with that.
Lazy.
Right.
You don't have a problem with that. And
lazy emotionally, lazy emotionally, lazy sexually, lazy. You say, I'm tired from being in an office where y'all laughed and got lunch together, and like he said, he in 100-degree weather. That don't even compare.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. I mean, I'm sorry. It doesn't compare.
Back to the conversation about who better suited for certain things.
That's so not true.
I done worked on both sides, right? I done been in the office environment, and I done been out there on the front lines with it.
Mm-hmm.
I done been tired at the office work, but it ain't the same as the tiredness I felt being in that manufacturing plant. I mean, it's a different kind of tired.
Right.
The issue is we both, men and women, we both better suited for certain things. There's a reason why when you look at construction sites, warehouses, manufacturing plants, oil rigs, you gonna see more dudes out there because our bodies are better suited for that kind of work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I see that face, Tanya. I challenge you. Find any one of those industries. Find any one of those industries where you see women rushing in droves to do that kind of work.
Right. Labor work is physically hard.
Yeah.
The work that I do is mentally hard, and that mental.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you, Smiley. I'm talking to Travis. Mental.
Go ahead.
Mental work is extremely tough because that's just like physical abuse and mental abuse. They're both the same.
They're not. They're not.
Hold on, Trav. Let me do this because you're a truck driver, right, Trav?
That's right.
Tone, you're a truck driver, right?
Yep.
I'm a truck driver as well. Okay. So here it is, and then my man over there is a truck driver. So here it is. When you say mental and physical, now what I do is physically, I got to move 600-pound dumpsters all day, right? But I also have to drive that truck. But guess what comes with driving the truck? Is it's not all physical. It's mental. Is because we have to watch out for stupid asses running under the truck. We got to worry about people squeezing in between the truck. We have to worry about if we got the type of programs on our truck, whether we're accelerating too high. We got courses that we have to take. We just don't get our license and then that's it. We got safe courses. Everything is mental. We got homework from some jobs. So everything that you say is mental. Mentally, when you're in a truck and you kill someone, one of our drivers killed a little girl, 9 years old. Her friend was horse playing, pushed her up under one of our duals, and she popped like a grape. Mentally messed him up, right? The man don't even drive the truck no more. So when you say physically, we're doing physical driving. I mean, we're doing physical work, but we're mentally driving to protect you and every other person that don't respect these trucks.
And on that note, it ain't even been a month that we had somebody die at our job doing what we do. Like if you drive trucks, I can't speak for everybody. I know for my job, I've been working with this company for 15 years. I didn't see these 5 people die on the job, doing their job. You see what I'm saying? So I can't take that away about being a mental stress because that could be you. You see what I'm saying? When you out there on that road, you driving, you expecting other people to do the right thing. You expecting other trucks, just like you scared of trucks. I'm scared of trucks too when I'm in a truck. Because if this fool stroke out or have a seizure or something like that and crash this big old truck into me, what can I do? I'm gonna die too, more than likely.
Okay,
so the mental part of it, and I'm not gonna say every single physical job, but our particular job in general. Mentally, there is some things about this job that if you let it get in your head too much, it will mess you up. You do have to be mentally strong. You be able to say, even though this person I'm seeing every day as a coworker came into work every day, now we don't see them no more. You still got to go out there and do your job. So, and we do physical work too.
I guess to address what Nick said real quick, she said it's mentally hard, and the reason I say I can't compare the two is because I speak for all the miners that went into those caves daily for their families. I speak for the men that go on the cable lines up in the air, for the ship, they're on the ships, for the guys that build elevators, the guys that build skyscrapers. You can say that's hard, that you're mentally tired from being in an office.
You went out, Trav.
Went out.
You know, well, Travis is. Let me say something because he's not. I can't hear him. But you know, I get. You know.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. What's more mentally tiring than those men that do all those jobs, building elevators, skyscrapers? You could lose your life, like they just said, and you're physically tired. It cannot compare to you being in an office with air conditioning. I'm sorry.
I understand what you're saying.
We live in an extremely weak society where people feel like these things are really real. They're not. Put me in an office. I won't be tired.
He's assuming you got this.
Go ahead, Tanya.
He's assuming. But let me say this, because it can be a mental thing. I deal with patients every day, lives in my hand. Do this patient need to be traced? Can I trace this patient? So 600 pounds, I need some help moving. So listen, we all have different things that's very exhausting. You know, one don't supersede the other.
Ty, how do you move a 600-pound person?
I said I have to make a decision for as moving a 600-pound person, but I don't know
How would you move him?
with a harness. What do you mean? Or with help, or with the sheet?
It would take, and I'm trying to make a decisive thing that we're so different, but we're human.
What I want you to do,
four men could move that 600-pound. 4 women can't move the 600-pound. So it's a different situation.
Okay, so what if you 4 men move that 600-pound and the women work with that man for a year and then you move that 600-pound and they die?
God called them home.
That's a mental thing for women. Women are emotional, mental people.
No, here's the thing. I've had patients that die in front of my face, literally die in front of my face because I could not reach an equipment in time. So,
how many of your coworkers have died on the job, though?
Huh?
How many of your coworkers have?
Not coworkers.
No, because I've even lost coworkers who have got pricked by a needle, you know, and now they got hepatitis. So listen, what I'm trying to say here, my personal opinion, and speaking my truth, is that we all work together cohesively.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
that's true.
we
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Respect what each other do.
Right.
I agree with that as well.
And we going over our hour, y'all. But I want to do a closing. If you had, let's say, a 30-year-old couple or 25, just got married. The woman's a nurse and the man is a labor worker of some sort. They're fighting because they've been together for 10 years, let's say 10 years. They agreed on sharing roles. What advice, as you men, can give to the man to save face in their marriage?
That big girl part, he's flower.
What did you say?
Let Vic go first because he's slobbering. Like, what would you tell a 25? Like, Vic, what would you tell Lil Vic, my nephew? What would you tell nephew if he was if he got married at 25 years old and he had a labor job and the wife was, let's say, a nurse, and they been together for 8 years?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what guidance would you tell him if he came to you and said, dang, she's on my helmet because I don't cook, or she's on my helmet because I'm not cleaning like I'm supposed to be cleaning, but I'm doing the best that I can, Dad. I'm tired.
Well, I don't think that I'm going to ever have that problem with my son.
I know. I'm just using my nephew.
But I would try my best to answer this is because I equip my son with everything. I told him he needed to get his ass in his kitchen and cook. So if he has a woman that's complaining about him, I would tell him to step up. If you're not a good cook, are you willing to learn? Does she know how to cook? Can she teach you how to cook? And so if she doesn't have that the ability to teach him how to cook, and they basically order Marie Calendar frozen pizzas or whatever the hell, because anybody can clean up. You understand what I'm saying? So I would tell my son, get up off your butt and help that woman clean that house. Especially if she's putting in the effort to clean up, but you just want to throw your clothes all over the places because you're tired. Well, she may be tired of cleaning up after your butt. So when you come in, if you're not going to help her clean up, well, then don't dirty it up. That would be my advice to my son.
Right. What about you, Steve? To little man, 25 years old, with a woman. Let's say they have a conversation. They've been together 8 years. And all of a sudden he comes to you, Dad, Like she wants me to do everything. Like I'm tired. How would you get on him? Would you come to him and say, what is everything? Or would you just say, son, do what she says? How would you handle that?
No, I don't think that would be my perspective on it. I mean, first and foremost, it goes back to what, the groundwork that I laid as his father way back when, kind of like Vic said. You laid the groundwork. This is how you're supposed to do it. If you're supposed to be a man, you're supposed to do this. You got to take care of your own, what you're supposed to be accountable for. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, then the communication needs to come in, and y'all have to have that conversation, because you have to communicate if stuff ain't going right. If you're not talking about it, you can say you're doing whatever, but it's not going nowhere. It's just falling on deaf ears because y'all not having that communication going back and forth. So first and foremost, do what I raised you to do. One. The second part is, if you're doing that, then you got to make sure that you're communicating effectively enough that she understands where you're coming from, what you need, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the day, I'm gonna be like, it's your responsibility. You're the man in that relationship. Y'all been together for this long. Y'all made it this far. It's up to y'all to keep going on that path together. Y'all have got to walk that. As much as I want to be there for you and do it, I can't walk that walk for you. I can go ahead and I can lay the groundwork. I can give you some good shoes and all that other stuff, but I can't walk it for you. So it's gonna be your responsibility to go ahead, be the man that I know you are, the man she expects you to be, and make sure that you're able to communicate with her. Make sure that you leading yourselves in the right direction and go out there and do it. I mean, there's only so much as men that we can do for our children.
Right.
To actually give them the good stuff, give them everything that we could possibly give them, like Big said, give them everything we can, and then let them go ahead and do what they need to do. Now, every now and again, we got to tell them, hey, you might want to move just a little bit this way, move a little bit that way, but it's not something that we can go out there and do for them.
Good one. Smiley, what would you say? With the girls, not the boys, but with the girls.
Oh. All right. So being that I got adult daughters, one of the first things I'm gonna do, one, I need context. I feel like that's one of the downfalls that we have as a society right now. We give a lot of advice without having full information. So it's real easy for somebody to come and tell me such and such is the bad guy. I do everything. But I know from experience, when I talk to the other person, the story's going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to try to get as much context before I give advice. Because if my daughter come and tell me, Dad, I'm doing everything, and this dude is just not going to be enough, I'm not going to allow that in me with my daughter. I'm automatically going to take her side. But I understand that might not be the best solution. Like, thinking from a logical point of view, I'm going to have to sit down and be like, okay, walk me through it. Step by step, what took place. Because I'm not going to just tell you to do something a certain kind of way based on what you just told me. Because obviously, when we communicating with each other as men and women, wires get crossed. You know what I mean? And it's real easy for you to respond to what you felt was said versus what was actually said. So I'm going to try to push the line to find out exactly what happened so I can give you valid advice.
Right. Good job.
That's the best I can hope for, because I done watched people give some terrible advice because of the bias.
Yeah. Me too.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I need context. But at the end of the day, obviously we're gonna teach our kids certain, things that they should strive to be good at, as far as being a good partner.
Right. And Tanya, what would you say to the girls?
Well, I would tell the young ladies, know your partner. Okay. Just don't get into a relationship with anyone. Know who you're dating. Be aware. Of course, make your little list of what you want. but just and work with your partner, because we all can have a piece of this pie. Let's compromise. Let's sit down. Let's talk about it, and let's hash this thing. You can work together.
Right. That's right. Trav, what would you tell your daughters?
I like what Smiley said. It's the actual getting the full story of a situation. But what I would tell my daughters are, and I hope that I'm giving them some aid in having wife skills, where most modern women don't have wife skills at all. So if you're in a relationship and you hope to be a wife, then you need to be coached by a wife in order to know what to do when these problems come up. Because if you don't have any, I wouldn't go and get a guy that bakes cakes to build me a motor. I wouldn't.
Right.
It doesn't make sense. And to go back to what Tanya just said, to a degree, I take what she says about partners and things like that. But in most relationships, people aren't really partners. That's a woman word that men have been forced down men's throat. Oh, we're partners. I don't understand that either. And as I go, I'm going to get more content from women when you say that, but I don't even understand that verbiage because, again, I'll go back to it. My job is to protect. So I would tell back to that, but I would tell, not that part, but I would tell my daughters, have those skills because sometimes you can do things, you fuse situations before they ever get up in the air and become an issue.
Nice. Well, I appreciate y'all. Another great episode on L.U.S.T.
I must have just been too quiet. She didn't even ask me what I thought.
Oh, Tony B. Because I already know what you think.
No, you
You're
don't.
my partner. I already know. Okay, I'm gonna ask you though. Go ahead, Tony. What would you tell them?
I think something that was really important that you said earlier, and I think that's kind of where the base and the root of it comes from. I think that our kids, we are the first example of what a relationship is, and they're going to look at what we are doing or what we have done, and that's going to be a big part of what they believe and how a relationship should be, run or how you should go about being in a relationship. I would tell my kids, and I try to tell my kids, take your time because saying that you're getting married at 21, 22, 25, I really don't think that you had enough life experience to understand what you really want and really what you don't want. I didn't find out what I wanted until I was in my 30s. So I think sometimes you got to, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Because how do you know, you know what I mean?
Right.
How do you know what, and like I said, your biggest example is going to come from your upbringing of what you've seen in your house if you happen to be together. And if you're not, when your children come there, they're going to look at however you deal with your other half as an example of how a relationship should be.
Right.
Relationship, marriage, or whatever the case may be. So we got to understand that's the biggest point. That's where it all going to start at. Then after that, whatever we say, we can't say, do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If you're saying this and you're doing that, it's, the audio and the visual is not matching. So, for me, like I said, with my kids, I try to talk to them. I try to tell them to take their time, learn what you think that you like in a relationship, and just look at the things that you don't like. So when you're going over that situation and you're communicating, you can just kind of take it from there. So I don't want to get too, I'm going all over the place with it, but that's kind of basically what I feel though.
I told you I knew how you think. All right, y'all. Another great episode of L.U.S.T. Let Us Speak Truth. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, holla at your girl.
Peace.